till they open up the door. One of these days when you made it, and the doors are open wide, make sure you tell them exactly where it's at so they'll have no place to hide. So Mr. Backlight, Mr. Backlight, hear me now. I'm wanting you, yeah, somehow, some way, yeah. I'm gonna leave you with the blues.
When I let it unfold, sex is free, it's inevitable. Effortlessly when I let go control and submit to the higher purpose. Feel a home in the zone. My soul is fully furnished in all earnestness. For the longest I felt I was embodying worthlessness, and they deserve this gift. Reflecting as I'm riding down the boulevard, writing down these bully bars. Fully on to leave a track with bullet scars. Coning way out to Colombo, humble but ready to rumble. More flavorful than some gumbo. Watching illusions can crumble and dissolve. Lamar's Dula my new self and evolve as the wheels revolve. The city make the beat go round. Christchurch to Motown. We can bring it down slowly. I got all you really need. I really do now. Slowly, way down low to the first degree. Oh, we can bring it down. Fly on high, ride on love, touch the tips of trees. We can move any way you want, any way you want is all good with me.
Now we're older, are we even part of the scene? Give up your dreams. Can anyone help me? I'm starting to fall apart at the seams. Give up your dreams. Can anyone help us? Someone must be pulling some strings. Pick a puppet, never follow it forever, lest you get stuck in a rut.
Don't let anyone tell you that you're special.
suck my dick. For the kids stealing money out the donation plate. See you in hell. Yeah. Hey yo, what up, broski? Long time no see. So what's the go, G? OD. It's been a minute since I've seen you out of my way. So what's with all the mind games? Shipper, for Christ's sake, you ain't even got the time to chat? Fuck, we're burning up down here. You couldn't even write me back, cut the act. These are serious days. Don't give me all that shit about you working in mysterious ways. That's some bumper sticker bullshit for fools who believe in lies. And spending rent, paying 10% weekly ties. Why you fuck around fucking other people's wives? Tuning into people's lives like it's fucking CSI. Or CNI like some perverse secret spy. Watching decent people die, trying to get a piece of pie. Fighting for some equal rights, dying for some peace and rice. How you fucking sleeping now, you motherfucker? Jesus Christ. Mad Max with a gang patch. A cunt trying to use the world for his 10 packs on a bloody Sunday in Palestine. St. Valentine massacre, masses of genocide. You're the one behind all this tireless violence. The one supplying us with what you're denying us stuff. So many scientists, the world's biggest businessman, trying to build some fucked up Disneyland and no one can get into unless they pay your churches and dedicate their lives to your praise and worship like they get slaves and servants. You celebrate the celibate to say your sermons while you incinerate the sinners in your flaming furnace like that's what they deserve. But you just gotta say the word, wave your wand, save the earth, but you just wanna make it worse. Send us all to hell? Shit, that's a hell of a lot of paperwork. You got the rapists, the racists, the masons, the faithless, ungracious, gauge Jews, the sadists, the traitors who stole their new neighbors' newspapers. There enough space in hell for all our faces. Goodness gracious. My God, trying to just live is like a full-time job. So I put down your word, picked up my iPod. You talk too much shit, I'd rather listen to Bob, and that's real. Sick of all your nonsense, sounding like a brat with some kind of never had a daddy complex. Homophobe, kiddie for the self-centered cunt. Oh, fuck you, fuck Muhammad, and fuck your son. Yeah, I said it, and Bob, you can quote me that. I read you like a million times, they never wrote me back. You wanna judge me? Psh, you don't know me, Jack. Good God, what a load of crap. You two-faced motherfucker.
I don't wanna
politicians to young adolescents, prescribing you cells, antidepressants. But how can we start to tackle the problem if you don't put your hands up and admit that you're on me? Your kids are in danger, they're all getting habits, 'cause from what I can see, everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy.
We good, Hugh? Sweet. You can come and sit down the front if you like. It's the best view in the house. And it's only slightly exposed. Right, well, kia ora koutou and welcome to the second IRL at the Golden Dawn in association with Orcon. Love is the Drug by Roxy Music. That was the first song I ever heard a DJ play out that made me go, what the hell is that tune? I think I was 14 years old at the school disco, and it was one of those mobile disco things. They went from school to school. I don't know who the hell it was, but that was the first of many times that a DJ has turned my head around, and I think that's why we're here. Because as much as DJs have over the years been decried as the devils who are doing live performers out of business, they've also been heralded as the gods who lead the culture. And it's kind of the best of jobs and the worst of jobs in that sense. You'll hear today from AJ Bertenshaw, the co-founder of the Big Noise and DJ Tech internationally, Auckland's own Serato. We'll have a set for you from Toby and Silver MC of Jaffa Mafia, who are also going to talk about finally having a new home at the Edinburgh Castle. The original home of punk rock is now going to be the home of the Auckland dancehall reggae scene, and they are really happy. They're sitting up down there at the moment. They're going to be down here to do a half-hour set, and I'm really looking forward to that. And then we'll have a DJ panel with more Test Caps than the All Blacks to tell us what it's really like. Hopefully they'll be better than the All Blacks were this morning. And just over there, at the end of the bar here, there is a white bucket, and I invite you throughout the afternoon to grab the pen and paper that's there and write your questions for the DJ panel. They can be silly, they can be serious, but this really is a chance, if you happen to be a DJ, to get your own back on your colleagues. So I think you should take that chance. Actually, show of hands, how many people here have played out two people at a party or a club or whatever as a DJ? Yeah, about half of you. It's not bad. It's not bad.
That's awesome.
So let's get on with the show. My colleague and co-host Esther Macintyre is interviewing our first guest. Long before she was Auckland's most in-demand club DJ, before she was on George FM, she cut her teeth at BFM, where it was obvious to me that she was someone who really knew her music, and I think that's still the case. So please welcome Esther interviewing DJ Aroha.
Thank you, Russell, and thank you so much, everyone, for coming along today. It's so good to see so many faces in the crowd and at home as well. Hello, if you're watching online. Big thanks to my first guest, or our first guest today, Aroha Harawira. She has been a club DJ and a radio DJ for a while now, and is now one of our most sought after and prolific club DJs. As Russell said, she cut her teeth on student radio, as I think a lot of DJs do. But she also continues to present a radio show on George FM, The Daily Grind. Aroha, kia ora. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yay. So you've been into music since you were very young. You grew up in Masterton listening to your mother's punk rock records. What do you think sparked your interest to play music to an audience as a DJ?
Well, I never really knew about DJing until I was at BF. Well, I mean, obviously I knew about DJing, but until I was at Radioactive, actually, that was where I first started out. And I had a boyfriend who was really into hip hop, and we borrowed some turntables from someone. I was actually living in a flat where every other person except me was a DJ, and most of them were drum and bass DJs. There was one female in the flat, and she played techno. And we borrowed some turntables from someone, and for a while there I was collecting hip-hop records and trying to learn how to scratch and beat juggle, and I was so bad at it. But I persevered for quite a while, and then I moved to Melbourne, and that kind of, the whole DJing thing sort of stopped for me. But that was kind of my first time when I thought, shit, I could do this. And then I thought I was too old. Now this is when I was like 21. And for some reason, I thought, oh God, I should have started when I was young. I'm never going to have a chance at doing this. And that's kind of, I made up my mind that I was never going to be good enough, which is weird. That's really defeatist, but yeah.
At 21 as well. So when you were doing radio at Radio Active and then National Radio and then at BFM, were you focused on broadcasting at that time, or was it all about the music and playing music to other people?
I was focused on broadcasting, but to play music to people. So it wasn't about any kind of technical style of DJing or anything like that. I just wanted to play tunes. I listened to music all the time. I was really passionate about music. I still am, and I just was enthusiastic, and I got a real kick out of hearing from people when they thought something was awesome. And that first started when I was at Active. I had those moments when I started having the odd fan, and I was like, wow, this person is getting in touch with me every week when I'm doing my radio show and is telling me I'm doing a good job. And maybe I got a bit of a big head from that, in the beginning, but it kind of egged me on to keep doing what I was doing. I was like, I think I do have good taste in music. I think I could do this as a job. Yeah. And
you have managed to turn it into a career, both on radio and out at, private shows and industry events and at clubs as well. I can think of a few key differences between club DJing and radio DJing. Some very big differences. Audience being a key one, I suppose. How do you kind of separate the two, or how do you compare the two?
Well, currently, the show that I do on George FM, we are a commercial radio station, and so majority of what I'm playing is playlist. And there are those times when I do get to DJ. I actually physically am DJing, and I set myself a challenge on that particular show to ask the listeners to give me their requests. And so I'm scrambling together. Sometimes I'm buying shit that I haven't even heard yet, and it may not make for the nicest DJ mix, but I kind of want people to feel that I'm actually listening to them, because when I'm out in a club, I really don't like getting requests. I think most DJs don't really appreciate it. Every now and then someone will come up and you're like, yeah, you've nailed it. But most of the time it's some girl or guy holding a phone up to your face and going, play this for me, plug it in, play it off YouTube, that kind of thing. And it's not appreciated when you're like, hey, well, I'm actually here to play a reggae set, and this is. And
I've actually planned out the tunes before I came here today.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, to be honest, I don't plan a lot before a set. I quite like to sort of look at the crowd and see what they're up to and whether or not they're into it. And if they're not into it, then I'll change my direction. But yeah, I can't remember what the question was, sorry.
Big differences, I guess, playing clubs.
I mean, you get that instant feedback from people when they're in front of you, and I think that's really valuable. It's different when you're in a radio studio, because you do get feedback, but you can't see anyone. You're like, oh, I'm by myself, and then often you get like amazing amount of positive feedback, but you get some pretty nasty feedback as well.
Yes, I noticed you put something up on Facebook recently about messages, and I am familiar with those messages being on radio. But it's hard, isn't it? Because you can only see one or two kind of pieces of feedback at a time, and yet there could be thousands or hundreds maybe listening and really enjoying it. Yeah. So it's disproportionate. That's a big difference.
I mean, I've been booed by audiences before. That's not very nice. There's been times when I've had a technical malfunction or something that just hasn't worked, and I'm stuck there going, oh, like, pulling things in and plugging stuff in and just going, okay, I can fix this. But it's become quite a thing, and maybe in the last 4 or 5 years, where people start going, you effed up, and then they start a chant and the whole club does it. And it's pretty upsetting. And if there's a microphone and that kind of situation happens, I'll usually get on the microphone and go, I know I did it. And I'll try and turn it back on them or go, look at that guy being an asshole, sort of thing. So, yeah.
So there's no denying that most DJs, and most musicians in fact, are male. You are bucking the trend in that sense, being one of the few female club DJs, although there are, some really awesome ones. To what extent do you think, Aroha, you've had to prove yourself simply because you are female? I'm sure there have been times when you've had to do that.
Oh, it's a difficult question. I feel like I sort of have to tread carefully with this one. I mean, I've had a lot of support from my peers, and I haven't really encountered many times when people have been rude or thought that I was good for a girl or that type of thing. And there's been some situations maybe when I've been booked by a promoter who maybe doesn't really have any idea about me but just knows that I'm a chick, and that's their reason for booking me. And that's actually that's when I'm like, oh, do I really want to do this gig? Like, are you booking me because you like the music I play, or are you booking me just because you want some sort of pretty centrepiece in the room? And maybe that's my own insecurity speaking, I don't know, but there have been those times where I'm like, is it just because I'm a bit unusual because I've got a pair of boobs and long hair?
Isn't it sad though that that's unusual?
Maybe, but I mean, when you think about it, I mean, just proportionately more men make their careers in music, and that sucks. Like, I wish more women did. But it's not just about DJing, it's just in general. You think about how many female DJs there are on the radio, or female hosts there are on the radio. You think about how many female music writers there are. It's always more men. It's just maybe, I don't know why, less females are actually as passionate about music. I don't understand it, but because I've always been into music. And so is my, I learned it from my mum. My dad never taught me anything about music. It was all from my mother. She was a record collector. She had records all around the house, and that's what she loved. So,
what do you think is one thing that most people don't realise about the art of DJing? Because it is an art. It is difficult. Beat matching is difficult, having tried.
That said, though, you don't have to beat match to be a DJ. I think to be a DJ, you have to know your music. I think that's the most important thing. I think it's more important to be a selector, someone who actually really passionately cares about music. If you just got someone's music collection from them, like someone just gave you their hard drive and was like, here's my entire music collection, that doesn't make you a DJ. Do you know any of that music? Have you listened to all of those songs? Do you have any kind of connection to those songs? I mean, I know I just talked about sometimes I'll get a bunch of songs that I don't even know from listeners that they've requested, and I might not like them. But my own personal DJing experience and what I like to DJ, I care about those songs. Every song that I play, I'm like, this means something to me. That piece there, I'm just waiting for this bit to come, and then I look around and go, does everyone else feel what I'm feeling? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Have there been gigs where you're hired and you feel like you have to almost surrender your music identity to fit with the bill or the vibe?
Yeah, totally. I do it every day. I work for a commercial radio station. There's a lot of music I play that I don't like, and that is the reality of it, and I accept that. That's my choice. I've made that choice. I have to make a living, and if I just played what I wanted all the time, I probably wouldn't make enough money. And it's, for a while there, I could kind of get by and be like, I'm going to do one gig every 2 months. But it didn't, that doesn't work for me. And because I've got a radio profile, the audience, that come to some of those gigs, they're like, well, I want to hear the songs you play on the radio. I'm like, okay, I get it. But I'm really thankful that some reason I still get to do some really interesting gigs where I get to play just 100% what I want. And I thought, for a while there I was quite scared that by playing some music that isn't necessarily 100% my style, that I would stop getting booked for those types of gigs, but that hasn't actually happened. And the other thing is that when I say I'll play music that I don't like, I won't play anything I don't like. I'll play things that I'm like, this is all right, I guess, but it's not my favourite song. Whereas if it's a set where I'm getting to play 100% what I want because I feel like the audience are into it, then that's a win for me. And it's usually the big festivals and stuff like that I actually get to just flex whatever it is I'm into.
Yeah, the audience, coming back to the audience, it's a huge thing, isn't it? You often will gauge the audience's mood and play music accordingly, and then also in between the set, go around the room, walk around, check that the volume's okay. Like, is there like almost a checklist of things that you have, or does it come naturally to you now?
It gets a little different when you, like, as your profile gets bigger, there's some things that you don't have to do like you used to. Like, when I was doing more of the sort of bar gigs, and a bar gig is when you're playing tunes, and these are usually the ones where you get to play pretty much anything you want, and you can play multi-genre, and it's really fun, and it's quite self-indulgent because the level is a bit quieter. People aren't actually really listening to you. So it's more about you just kind of playing music for yourself, and then every now and then someone will come over and go, great tunes, you're like, thank you. But you're tucked away in the corner and people are eating and drinking, that kind of thing. Those sort of ones, obviously, you walk around and you're like, is this appropriate for right now? Are people wincing, like struggling to talk to each other while they're eating their oysters? But the bigger club gigs and the festival gigs that I do now, like, I have a checklist of things that I send to someone, and I say, okay, this is what I expect, and this needs to be met before I come. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Sometimes I'll ask for a deposit so that I know that if all hell breaks loose and the business goes tits up, then at least I'll get paid something. So, yeah, I guess I just know what works best for me now, and so I'll send that information through to the promoters and say, I need to have all of these things, and it usually works. And now I ask for security all the time because I get harassed. You do get harassed? Yeah. That was going to be my next question. Especially for women, and you're in this little booth and you're kind of tucked away in the corner and not necessarily you're alone a lot of the time. Yeah. Pretty much all of the time. Can you tell us about some of those experiences? Should I tell you about the worst one? Tell us about the worst one. Can you guys hear Aroha okay? Are you... Just sorry, I should know microphone technique. No worries. Now I feel really loud. So I was playing at a club in Auckland, and it was like it started at midnight, and I was going through till 4 p.m. And this is when I was just DJing for my income. I had no other job. I'd just come back from like a 3-month trip overseas, and kind of was like, shit, I need to make some money. And so I just exclusively DJed like 5-6 gigs in a weekend, sort of thing. And it was the end of the night, and I was mixing 2 songs together. I was beat matching 2 songs together, which is complex, you've got to use your brain to do it. And some dude just kind of comes into the DJ booth, and it was on the same level as the dance floor, so everyone could just kind of walk in. And he comes behind me, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then next thing, he gropes me, top and bottom, and I'm just like, oh God, and then train wreck, everyone leaves the dance floor. So that's a bad feeling, number one. That happened. Number 2, I turn around, start yelling at him, and then he drops his guts in the DJ booth. That's the worst. Yeah, that was pretty horrendous. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And then security came over and got rid of him, but it was not nice. And then there was no dance floor. I was like, wicked. And then I had to walk to my car by myself. So. And that was one instance, but does it happen often? Does it happen often now? You've been doing it for a while, and you're a strong person. Yeah, not so much now because I have security all the time. So I generally ask. I mean, for the events where it's going to be a big crowd, I ask them to make sure that someone keeps an eye on me, and that usually works. Walk me to my car, please. Come and get me from my car when I arrive. Things like that, and as long as I've got my wits about me, I'm okay. But I have been followed to my car by groups of guys before, at like 4 a.m, that kind of thing, which isn't very nice. And I know that male DJs get harassed as well. I mean, I've had a couple of guy friends tell me that they've been harassed by both men and women, like girls coming up into the DJ booth and just grabbing them and groping at their bits and that type of stuff. And it's weird. People, you know, when people are drunk, they're assholes.
Yeah, alcohol has a big part to play in that. Tell us about your best DJ experience, or if you could have the most magical DJ experience, and what sort of music would you play and what sort of crowd would you hope for?
Probably the best DJ experience I had was Rhythm and Vines, not the one that has just passed, but the one before that. And I got to do the sunrise set, so that's when obviously the sun's coming up and it's like the final set of the festival. And
everyone's wasted.
Everyone's wasted, yeah. But it was those people that sort of stuck around. They're like, I'm going to be here till the bitter end. And, you know, the festival had kind of emptied out a little bit, but there's lots of gremlins out there. But the sun is coming up and I was playing 100% what I wanted, and it was really happy music, happy house and techno. And it was just such a warm and positive vibe. Everyone was smiling. Yeah, I'd say that was probably my favourite experience. It just felt like, even though it was outside and, you know, it was a big stage and it was kind of little patches of people and it wasn't like a huge crowd, there was just so many smiles on so many faces, and that's a really good feeling when you can do that for people.
It's pretty special.
Yeah.
What about at home, Aroha? What kind of, what's your setup like at home when you're listening to music? Or do you even listen to music when you're not working?
I actually don't listen to a lot of music at home. Because my ears are so sore after 5 hours on the radio every day that I generally go home and just go, I just need a break. But the music I listen to at home is not really dance music. Like, I generally tend to trawl through blogs and listen to internet radio and podcasts and stuff, and just music that is other than what I would play on George. Obviously, I do my preparation time, stuff that is appropriate for George FM, but my setup is I have 2 Technics 1200 Mark III turntables, I think, and I've got a Serato Pioneer DDJ SX2, which I've got my turntables plugged into because they've got photo input, so I can sort of stuff around with Serato stuff on that, and it's got a standalone, you can use it as a standalone mixer as well, so I can plug my turntables into it. So yeah, it's kind of fun, and I've got all my records as well.
Yeah. Awesome. I don't know how you do 5 hours on the radio every day, 10 till 3. That is such a long show. I struggle to do 3. How do you do it?
Caffeine. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets a bit tedious, but it's more because, you know, I've got that repetition of songs that I'm playing each day, and so the music that is on the playlist is coming from the studio computer. And then I sort of dip in every now and then and go, here's my personal choice kind of thing.
What's the balance like? Is it 50-50 or?
Maybe 90-10.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah. So not a huge amount of
maybe,
freedom there.
Not a lot, but I think the key is making, like, people think that, and sometimes I'm like, I don't want them to think that I like this song. I hate this Justin Bieber shit. But and I have actually been told off for saying that before. But you're meant to make it sound as fluid as possible, you know, like, and people do think that I'm selecting all of the music all of the time. You know, they're like, yeah, you love this song. I'm like, I don't actually. But it's all part of the, you know, it's all part of the craft. It's a challenge.
Yeah, and it's a job. It is a paid.
But it's a pretty fun job.
Yeah. Cool. Aroha, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here. And you're actually going to stick around for the panel, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, which is lucky. Aroha used to work at Serato. I didn't even realise that.
Did I not tell you that?
I found out. I've been reading about you a lot. So
it's a bit creepy.
That brings us to our next guest, I suppose, if Russell wants to take over. 5-minute break. Well, that's Aroha Harawira, a.k.a. DJ Aroha.
Thanks.
twice. I'm in love with rock and roll, then I'll be out all night rolling on. That's right.
Working. Yeah, working. I'll just like do the meaty bugger.
it's alright.
Brother, we're about to start again, folks, so if you could resume your seats. You're a wonderful audience before, I must say. And I would also note that what you've been listening to since you arrived was, in fact, DJ Serato Pyro. He's got some nice transitions. It was all right, really. I liked it. Let's go then. AJ Bertenshaw, welcome.
Thank you.
Big week for you. Your company now has a whole 3 products.
Yeah, we like to do a few things and do them right.
Yeah, has that been strategic? Because you've spent, in the last 5 years, you've spent more time consolidating your product range than actually adding new products.
Yeah, that is definitely a conscious thing. I find that if you've got one thing that you do really, really well and you just concentrate on that and you look after your customers, you get a lot of loyalty out of that. So that's kind of been our strategy for the last few years, is just we had, of course, Scratch Live and Itch, 2 different products for 2 different kinds of DJs, but then we wanted to bring those together into one thing, so that's where Serato DJ came from.
Now, the first product in 1998, and I remember hearing talk of this at the time, that there were these guys who were launching a company, was Pitch in Time, which your co-founder, Stephen West, wanted to make free. He wanted to release it for free, and you talked him out of that. What was that conversation like?
That's how the story goes. It wasn't... He was a bit of a hippie at the time, so if you can imagine a young man walking around in a trench coat and Doc Martens and shaking his fist at the man, that was Steve, and kind of had a. He's still. I don't know if you're following him lately, but he's still trying to save the world. He's got. He's now doing electric vehicles and looking to try and put. Charging stations throughout the country. So he's always been kind of that mindset. But definitely when I saw this product, I thought, this has to be something that we make money out of.
Is that kind of a startup mindset you're talking about? And have you got it as well?
I'm very much a startup mindset. I find it difficult to be in a company that's just kind of maintaining and running business as usual. I like to create something. I'm only interested when I'm creating something new. So
Now, Pitch and Time did quite well, but it was a studio tool. It was a Pro Tools plugin. What was the process in making the big step to something that people could use outside the studio, which was Scratch Live?
There hasn't really been a process for coming up with a brand new thing. It was more like Steve and I have always been really interested in solving difficult problems, and we're both really, really into our audio. So when something came along, which is like a technical challenge, how do you control some digital music with a turntable? That was super interesting to us. So we would just dive really deep on that, and then it becomes a product, and then all of a sudden you've got all these customers. So it just gets a life of its own.
And the irony of that challenge is, I mean, we've grown up in a world where one technology replaces another, and yet your technology existed because your market didn't want to let go of their old technology. They still wanted to be playing with turntables.
Yeah, that's right. So at the time when when Scratch Live came out, there was a slow shift from vinyl to CDs, and there were a lot of people trying to hang on to their vinyl as long as they could, and the vinyl market was declining, and turntable sales were going down, and all that kind of thing. And so when we first came out, a few people would come up to us and say, "What are you doing? You're killing vinyl." And my response was always, "No, we're saving the turntable." And there's more turntables being sold now than there was back then. So,
yeah, that's actually a really interesting angle.
Yeah. So.
How did you get people to use the product in the first place? Because I gather you have never paid anyone to use Serato.
Yeah, we made a decision very early on that we wouldn't do that paid artist endorsement thing, because I guess we wanted people to use it because they liked it. And so if they championed it, that's great, but it's because that they chose it. There was our competition at the time was kind of well known for paying their DJs, and people knew it, and it just didn't feel like something we wanted to be involved with. So getting people on it was more about just making the product really solid. And one thing we did differently to the competition was we supported our product. So we created an online forum, and people who had questions or had problems or whatever would post on there. Everyone in the world could see it, and I myself would answer some of the queries. Developers and owners of the company were actually answering their questions, and people were kind of shocked by that.
That was actually going to be my next question, because Serato DJ isn't just a product. When you look at it, it's a support system as well. You have the community on the website. When Sam Gribben was with you, he set up whitelabel.net because the labels didn't know how to distribute digital promos. You have content on the website. Well, when did you realise that you would have to do that to make the product work?
Look, our company is made up of people who use our own products. So a lot of the stuff that we do just is born out of, well, what would we want? What would we want if we were using this product? Or in fact, they are using it. So it's just a natural progression. We don't have a very corporate approach to what we do. It's very much user-centric. So everything is all about, well, how is this going to be easier to use? How are people going to love this product?
It also seems to be about relationships. I mean, you had to, right from the outset, decide that you weren't going to make hardware. So you had to go and talk to hardware companies. You had to talk to DJs, I presume. Was that a challenge? Was that a learning experience?
Getting the hardware companies on board?
Well, just, forging all those relationships.
Yeah. The thing that's really made a lot of that stuff a lot easier is the product itself. The software is just really good, I guess. And when we went to the States we designed the original hardware, the box that people plugged in, and we didn't want to make it though. We didn't want to be in the game of making things out of metal and putting them in warehouses and worrying about if they're overstocked or understocked or any of that stuff. We just, for Steve and myself, software made a whole lot of sense and hardware didn't. So we basically took the design to a trade show and we showed it to a couple of companies, and Rain jumped on board and said, "That looks great, we'll make it." They took the design, they made it slightly better and put it out. And I don't think we've never really had. I mean, our relationships have always been super important to us, but once you get a couple of really interested partners on board, the others kind of watch with interest, and then even the ones that are really tricky to get, they eventually come around. So,
what was the key? What was the game breaker? Was there one DJ picking it up that really made the difference?
I don't think so. It was more like a critical mass kind of a situation. So for the first year of Scratch Live being out, we were selling hundreds a month, and then it suddenly went from hundreds to thousands, like from one month to the next. It was almost like I did this little calculation where I tried to figure out the size of the DJ market based on, turntables and a bunch of other things. And I'd heard this thing that once you hit 1% of a population, that's critical mass, and it just goes crazy. And it was really weird because it was pretty much from the number I figured out when we hit it then, it went from, a few hundred a month to several thousand a month, and then just blew up from there. So there were at the beginning there was our very first beta tester is A-Track, and he's very respected in the sort of DJ and scratch community, and DJ Jazzy Jeff, he was a huge early adopter as well, and he was I often meet people who've been in the game for many years who say to me, I was one of the first guys and I told this person and that person and that person, and so it was very much a word of mouth thing. And back then, staff was about 4, so we didn't have a marketing budget. We didn't, take out ads in DJ magazines or anything like that. But we were up against a pretty big company, Stanton, who had a similar product, and they were pretty much advertising the heck out of it, but not supporting their customers. So people would buy their product, get really annoyed with it, come on our forums, discover that everyone was happy with ours, and then they'd switch. And so it was...
You also had some government assistance along the way, NZTE and other agencies. Did the system work for you?
Not early on. We didn't really pay much attention to that kind of stuff. Around about the time we did white label and that kind of thing, we started to realise, hey, we could probably get some help from the government. And so, some of our staff have taken on the job of trying to get grants out of the government, and we've had a few over the years. We had one recently from the Callaghan Institute. NZTE has been very helpful to us. But yeah, at the beginning we were quite naive about what was available to us, and so we just kind of had to make it on our own.
I think one thing a lot of people probably don't know is that you are still literally a family company. Your dad was involved right from the beginning. If you look at the shareholdings, your family's in there. Has that made a difference to the way you've done things?
I guess so. This is the only thing I've ever done, really, so it's hard to say what it would be like if we had a whole lot of corporate shareholders or people telling us what to do. But yeah, like you say, there's only 4 shareholders, me and Steve, my dad, his mum, and so it's how it was in 1988. And so yeah, it's hard to answer. I imagine it would be very different if we had shareholders to answer to.
I asked your former CEO, Sam Gribbin, who has a new company launching next week, what I should ask you. And he said, ask about the way that the move to digital has changed the way we party. And that a DJ used to turn up to a gig with a bag full of reggae records, say.
Yeah.
Now you've got multiple genres, it's open format. How do you think that's changed things?
Yeah, so one of the things that people say to me when they meet me, who are vinyl DJs, is that they couldn't, they would try to bring as much music as they could, but it was like, limited by the amount that they could carry on their back, basically. So 3 crates is quite a lot for vinyl, and so there was a lot more gigs which were a single genre, and I think it's, especially in America, I noticed a lot of places are just, you could hear anything, and people bring 20,000 songs or whatever on their laptop, and it really opens you up to be able to play anything you want at any given time. So I think it has changed the way people play.
Now, as I mentioned at the top of the interview, you've got your big change. Pyro is your first consumer product. And it's free. What the hell sort of business model is that?
I'm not in it for charity, so I do plan to make money out of it. The thing, first and foremost, though, is we wanted to do something here first for a change. So, we started out in the studio market and then the DJ market, and the size of New Zealand, we would never have survived if we were just doing stuff here. But and our biggest market by far has always been the US. So it's always been kind of looking outwards when we start a product. But this one, because it's got broad appeal and it really is something that anyone could use, we wanted to say, here you go, New Zealand, you're first. Have a play with this. And the idea behind it being free is that the basic functionality of this app is something I think everyone can use. But there are going to be a lot of people who want to get a little bit deeper, who want to control it a bit more, who want to do different things with it. So we will develop more sort of pro features for the app, and we'll charge for those.
The crazy thing about it is that it's such an obvious niche, and I actually first heard about the product when one of your guys got in touch with me when I went on Twitter looking for something to do this for my friend's birthday party. That wasn't a big expensive DJ app on a laptop, and there actually really wasn't anything that worked.
Yeah, it's weird. I think the mindset has been, you're either just playing music or you want to be a full-on DJ, and it doesn't take into account that a lot of people like to hear music mixed and played like a DJ would play it, but they don't actually want to necessarily learn how to do that. So you're right, it's a weird niche that's been empty for ages.
The irony is that it comes at a time when we're all supposed to be getting rid of the music from our devices and embracing streaming. What do you make of the streaming revolution?
Oh, well, it's definitely where everything's headed, and particularly with, devices still being quite small in capacity in a lot of cases, and there just being more and more apps and more things and photos and things you want to put on there. Streaming makes a lot of sense. We're actually working on that, so this first release that came available on Thursday doesn't have any kind of streaming or subscription music, but we are very cognizant of the fact that is where we're all headed, so we're working on it. And
right, you are talking to Apple.
We're talking to many people.
Excellent. But before we do a demo with this, because I think people should actually see it, one Auckland DJ who I won't name posted this on Facebook, because DJs have been talking about this app a lot. I don't let anything or anyone else program my life soundtrack at any stage. That is for the peasants.
I know who that DJ is, just from that wording. You want me to respond to that?
Yeah. What are the DJs making of it? Should they be threatened?
I don't think so. Like Aroha said, being a DJ isn't about being able to beat match. It's about your selection and reading the crowd, and there's a whole range of skills that have nothing to do with the technical, can I make this song mix into the next. This is not really designed to be used in place of a DJ. This is like where you wouldn't normally have a DJ. You're not going to have a DJ in your car. You're not going to have a DJ at a house party with 5 people. So this is for people who want to hear the music the way that they're used to hearing it in a club, but in a situation where you would never normally hear it that way.
Right, well, shall we hear it? Give us a demo. We've got a screen here. And it took a bit of discussion, but we actually worked out a way to mirror AJ's phone screen onto this here vertical monitor. So I can't see it. So maybe give me a signal when you can. You can see it. Excellent.
Awesome. Okay, so one of the things about this app is that it was designed so that you don't have to prepare yourself. So I thought, I'm not going to prepare that much for this demo. That's my excuse. It's if you've ever been getting ready for a party or something like that, and you think, I've got to have a whole lot of music ready, and the task of setting up a playlist is always a big pain. So this app is designed so that you can just on the fly while you're playing, choose songs, rearrange, all that kind of thing. So I'll show you how it works. So when you choose to add a song, you just go into your music library, which is comes from iTunes. You can search, so type in any search query there to find a song, or you can just use one of your existing playlists or whatever you like. Songs come up here. Now, let me just show you something here. We get some volume? Yep, that's cool. So one of the things you'll notice after using it for a while is that when you skip through a song, the beat never skips. So I just jumped. And again. Believe it or not, I'm actually jumping through the song, so this song is very repetitive. And the thing you probably wanted to hear was, what does it sound like when you mix two songs together? Alright, let's grab something. There we go, that'll do. So you can just grab a song from your list here, drop it onto the player. Hope this one mixes nicely. Hey! Good, it worked. And so part of the what makes this app really easy to use is that you, while you're playing your song, if you want to add more songs to your playlist, it's not going to interrupt your playing. It's not you don't have to stop the song and then go and look for a playlist. You can search throughout the rest of your list and grab a song. There we go, milkshake, that's good. And rearrange the order as your party's playing through. Now, what happens is no matter what you're doing, if you leave it, you walk away, it's going to just mix when it gets near the end of the song. It's going to mix to the next one. If you actually run out of tracks, so I'll clear this, you'll see there's suggestions at the bottom there. So it's going to just basically keep playing even if you run out of songs. I don't know what that suggestion is. You put those songs back. Cool. All right. One of the things that we decided was really important is sometimes you have a really cool time, you have a good party, and a couple of days later you're thinking that was some really good tracks that were all played. We've got a history here, so you can see what you've just been playing, but you can also see every other day that you played any songs and right back to the beginning of the app, and you can go, oh, that's right, I had a party on the 1st of September, that was awesome. I'm going to just add all those songs. Add all. They're not all parties. Oh, it's mixing. Back into the other song.
The transitions, they're not all crossfades, are they? Every now and then it'll throw in a little echo and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so you notice the little numbers down the side of the screen here. I've got that turned on. It's not turned on by default. It's just telling you the tempo of the song. So if you know what a BPM is, you can have it displayed. If two tracks are close enough to blend, it will adjust the speed and blend them together. But if they're a little bit far apart, here's an example here. No, actually, good. No, it does. Interestingly, it will also mix together two songs that have got double tempo, so it'll do halves and doubles. So it's actually quite hard to find a song that won't blend. But I will do it right now.
Know that I am trying with a blind eye. There'll be nothing
I think this should do it. Right. So you hear that it has a little echo out effect. If the songs are too far apart, you can it'll still do something that sounds good and doesn't interrupt the music.
Is there some scary maths behind this? Well, what's it do to analyse the music?
So it actually goes through the song and it analyses and finds every beat and every, kick and hi-hat and tries to figure out what the tempo is from the positions of those beats. And then it has to do a little bit of work as well to try and figure out where the bars are, because you can't just line beats up. It sounds terrible if you do it. And so there's some pretty interesting maths. And then the maths to actually make the music stretch without changing its pitch is from our original pitch and time thing, and that's also some scary maths. That's kind of amazing. That's that first algorithm that you almost gave away. That's still a key part of these products. Yeah, well, it's actually 15 years worth of products and technology that we've been building up to make this, and this. It's really one of the reasons, I guess, why it's only just happening now is because it's actually quite a bit of computing power in order to do that, what a DJ does in their brain. And it's the first time, I guess, in history where you've had that much power in a small portable device. This phone is many, many more times more powerful than the computers that we developed the original algorithm on. So, which obviously were the size of a desktop computer. Right, well, I think we have to wrap here, but sure. Best of luck with it, because this thing works. I really enjoyed it. There's one little bug that I've reported, but, I'm pretty sure it's just the one bug. Yeah. Just the one bug. Hey, AJ Bertenshaw, some applause, please. That was awesome. We've got about a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with Toby and Silver MC with some dancehall. Thank you. We good now? Okay, by the way, don't forget that you can still submit your questions into the little white bucket over at the end of the bar here. We're going to have a slight delay because Hugh's about to get a parking ticket, but we will be back very soon.
Yeah, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah.
Party love's got me on my knee. We were 1, then become 3. Mama, what have you done to me? I'm half crazy.
Okay, as promised, the kings of the Auckland Dancehall Underground, who are kind of a little more overground now, they have a venue at the home of punk rock. I really like that, the Edinburgh Castle. First night tonight. Toby and Silver MC, please welcome them.
Evening, everyone. Oh, sorry, afternoon. It's usually evening. We're going to play a little dub plate first, and Silver's going to jump on. Dub plate is the thing that we record as reggae artists. When we really respect an artist, they cut a tune for us, and we pay them a lot of money. So this is Cornell Campbell.
I know the rhythm I drop, but me not coming at the dance or strap.
Music is all we got. Now we must defend it.
Dance no need no war. Man and woman for par.
Everyone is a star.
Like King Alpha and Mama Mika.
Dance
the people's church. Yes, it's where everyone's gathering.
Need no bothering.
I just love. So everyone
must come together.
Everyone
music forever.
The sweetest relief, God's all sweet. God's all sweet.
I love the vibes and how the girls them dress, yeah.
And everyone that come express themselves.
Them dress to impress.
One black love, one African nest. Well, I say pull up, set the lift from the top. The music sounds sweet, but check the message that I got. In come the musical thing, I bring your queen, I lock your black. And the truth and the not so hot.
Dancer,
no need no war. Man and woman for par.
Everyone is a star.
Like King Alpha and Mama Mika.
Dancer,
the people's church.
yeah, yeah.
Where everyone's
Oh,
gathering. We go wandering. I just
yes, people. To be a Jaffa Mafia and I am Silver MC. Welcome to the BFM party at Golden Dawn. I'm just gonna showcase to you guys some of my music, what I like to do, what I like to feel, and hopefully you can feel my vibe too. You see it? Yes, my selector, come with it. Jaffa Mafia.
I love the vibes, I know the rhythm, my charm.
Yeah.
And Taxi Gang is on the attack. Yeah.
How you feeling, people? Put one hand up. Everyone seems kind of quiet, but just put one hand up if you're feeling all right. You all right, people? All right, wheel up my selector. Yo. I'm just gonna warm it up with a nice song called 80s Wine Rhythm. Just to get my blood boiling and my heart racing. You see it? Song boy, you better know we have to mash your own. We are the sound champion. We have to run up the old downtown. So me say sound boy, you better know we have to mash your own. We are the sound murderer. We have to run up the old downtown. Me say it don't look good, no it don't seem right. Oh me get to have so much good in my life. And then me look out and see war and strife. Government a fish you with the guns and the knife. Bullet a favors, better run for your life. Show down the people, yes, the husband and the wife. Think say them one, but the youth a go fight. Your army, so like a tip in the night, so me say sound boy. You better know we have to mash your own. We are the sound champion. We have to run up the old downtown. Sound boy, you better know we have to mash your down. We are the sound murderer. We have to run up the old up. See how the master just a rock and come in. Them know we have the fire, we go burn out them sin. Them know we have the truth, we go make them head spin. From the step and the dance, you can be turn up, turn up. So them not ready for the hotness, no. And them not ready for the badness, no. And we not deal with slackness. Boy, just the vibe and we got if you tell us say sound boy, you better know we have to mash your own. We are the sound champion. We have to run up the old downtown. Me not deal with bad mind, me not deal with no fool. Rough man a try, so me take them to school. When me dip on them, I all of them get slow. No me feel run way when this year girl come through. Me see you over there, so rude boy, what you do? You have me in a chance and me can't get close. Me like how you are gone and now you make them mold. Me no say you don't walk with no basic. So me say some boy, you better know we have it. Yeah, we are the sound champion. We have to run up the old downtown. Some boy, you better know we have to mash your down. We are the sound murderer. How you feeling, Tommy? Go on the next tune. That's way. Woo, I'm a bit warmed up now. How you feeling? You still alright? Your hand in the air if you're still alright, people, after the first song. My people, are you feeling it? Yes, I'ma keep doing it still. Watch. Yeah, listen to this one. Just for I mean tango, them sell out them family and sell out vanity and so I go. Just for diamond and gold, them not care for mama earth, but she a fight it alone. Only Jaja know. Diamond and gold, them not care about humanity. Them sell out them family and so I go. Just for diamond and gold, diamond and gold. Yeah, what kind of message them I send to the youth? We wonder how them live off them half dead fraud. See them mash down their place with them police boots. You can't hide forever, Rastafari are the true lad. We come fi clean mama yard, mama earth, and shine the light on the dark for what it's worth. None of them can come and make me stay. Rastafari is here to stay. Diamonds and gold, them sell out the humanity, them sell out for vanity and so it go. Just for diamonds and gold, them not care for mama earth, but she a fight it alone. Only Jaja know. Diamonds and gold, them not care about humanity, them sell out for vanity and so it go. Just for diamonds and gold, diamonds and gold. Say Babylonian war, holding up the fire, we come bang down the dark while the people come share. Government pollution, tearing up the floor, but the fire I go burn them, no matter where them go. While the people suffering, you're fighting all the time. Tell me how come the people them work hard for make a dime while you sit back in your chair, take the living in fear. Don't mistake me friendly, this God judgment they are near. Well, what kind of message them a send to the youth? Me I wonder how them live off them off dead fruit. See them mash down their place with them police boots. You can't hide forever, Rastafari are the true Lord. We come be clean, mama yard, mama earth, and shine the light on the dark for what it's worth. None of them can come and make me stray. Rastafari is here to stay. Diamonds and gold, them sell out them family and sell out for vanity and so it go. Just for diamonds and gold, them not care for mama earth, but she a fight it alone. Only Jaja know. Diamonds and gold, them not care about humanity. Them sell out for vanity and so it go. Just for diamonds and gold, diamonds and gold. Yeah. Just for mafia fi tell you, we clean mama yard. No we clean up we yard. Babylon me a fi burn them, yeah. Oh, we're just gonna share some vibes, share our music, and nothing but love. Watch. Come with it, Toby Jeffer. Respect people, respect. Maximum respect every time. So now we're gonna take it down to some culture and let the people know what we do. What? Come again, my selector from the top. Heal up and come again. Yeah, tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. We no come fi make up, we no come fi make friend. We just ride on the rhythm me have been. Strictly high grade, no rubber fi the blend. Some gyal a talk like them know something, but nothing me a hear is a serious thing. So me tell them fi flee with them idiotic. Me not deal with nobody with a bad mind thing. Tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. Tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. Yes. Tell them I'm ready and we tell them Jaffa I murder them. Boy, me not deal with bad mind, me not deal with no fool. Enough man a try, so me take them to school. When me get wonder, me to all of them get slow. Them a feel run where when you see a girl come through. Me see you over the store road, boy, what you do? You have me in a chance and me can't get those. Me long how you are gonna know you make them moves. Me not say you know I can no basic. We tell them say, tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. Tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. Yes, tell them I'm ready and we tell them Jaffa Mafia murder them. One of bad man can make me drop off me truck. And me know say them dirty and me know say them slack. Me know from me start them want try and distract. Them now want to see me forward, all them do a push back. Well, I'm clean, that is an extension of your heart. Your actions speak louder than you could ever talk. Well, me see you have attention right from the start. So me no say you not there come never. Drop them off what you say, tell them I'm ready and me tell them I'm ready and me. Tell them I'm ready and me tell them Jaffa Mafia murder them. Whoa, bada bing, bada boy. Whoa, silver on the mic, me no don't take it for no toy. Whoa, bada bing, bam boy. Jaffa Mafia tell them anytime we run the door, me say murder in the house tonight. Me say murder any song come and dance tonight. Me have to murder them in the house tonight. Let me see it, my people. What? Tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. Tell them I'm ready and me tell them again. Yes, tell them I'm ready and me tell them Jaffa Mafia murder them. Whoa. Yes, my people. Come with the mix selector. body like, whoa, who that be, where she go? Yeah, she got the killer flow. Girls on the test, but they talk a little slow. Say I don't mean to brag, but I rock with a swag. Jump up on the stage, red, gold, and green flag. My professor, I'm the real thing, you a tester. Run the program like a software emitter, come fresh. Please, if you wanna come step, I'm down for a jam or a battle for a check. I'm down to freestyle on your whole entire set. I'm down to let my boy kick your DJ off the decks to take over. Fast like the land of Ethiopia. Ruben night, I see the mic show's over. Jump off the stage and blaze my girl Chiba. Senti, Bestie, the only true diva. Girls want my man cause they know he's a keeper. Bust out the FIFA, blazing a reefer. Boys get jealous so they say I'm a teaser. Little do they know I'm the microphone reaper. So text up your peeps, Facebook your friends. Let them know there's a Becky Serato to the end. Sister with a brain, sister in the game. It be me, Silver, remember the name. It's like sisters coordinate color codes. The sentence of the 12 drop bombs equivalent. Embedded in your crown like fine twine. And it's surrounded by the crowd. Individuals here disperse the unseen. Commemorate the good sound. Educated, elevated, and celebrated. We coming right through like time to recognize time flies and so does your device. Take advice and realize it's done at your own demise. Organize and centralize. Hear the critics and be wise. Criticizing my ties ain't gonna get your flybys. It's okay cause I'm clean. Smoking is supreme. Green, Sensi, the only thing I feel. Believing that there's nothing wrong with blazing the trees. And I recall King Solomon used to smoke the dirty. Times have changed though and it's okay because we grow. We're picking up the pieces and we're cleaning up the floor. The kingdom awaits, so pearly gates and open doors. I feel the change, I still remain once more. I feel the change, I still remain once more. I feel the change, I still remain once more. The kingdom awaits, so pearly gates and open doors. I feel the change, I still remain once more. Like sisters coordinate color codes. Descendants of the 12 drop bombs equivalent. Embedded in the crown like fine twine. And it's surrounded by the crowd. Individuals here disperse the unseen. Commemorate the good sound. Educated, elevated, and celebrated. We coming right through. Don't think that I'm about to give up soon, cause my rhymes is never ending. I pump out tunes when the needles are grinding. I come right through, turn the microphone on, make the people them move. Calling on the soldiers, pushing up our boulders. Challenging the system, we investigate their motives. Who is the closest? Faces on the posters. Just because we're about to put their line through the jokers. Yes, we the dopest. What you didn't notice? Better watch your harvest, I get swarmed by the locusts. Soon lose your focus, lost in the focus. Chill just a little and get high with them. Beware of the poachers, talk by the coaches. Killed by the soldiers and placed on their shoulders. Sometimes it's hopeless, sometimes it's hopeless. But always I'm focused and never a locust. Check. Yeah. Yeah, man, last song. Short and sweet, see? This is the one called Jaffa Mafia and Silver MC blessing up Golden Dawn this afternoon. Watch it. Selassie are the only real king round ya. He is the one who wear the crown round ya. Rasta have links all over the world and we flyer than a parachuter. B.O. the Lion of Judah. Don't chat the boat, we start the rumor. For us I can stick to you like a tumor. Only marijuana where we born round ya. Makita and Mendeley, royalty me represent. You could never stop me, cause me have a higher intellect. Higher than a rifle, higher than a crane, higher than the astronaut we fly out in the space. Watch me, mister, you could never charge me. We are the ones who run the whole party. Nobody touch me with your boom boom sound. We are the ones who have the good sound. Selassie are the one who are the round ya. He is the one who wear the crown round ya. Rasta have links all over the world. And we flyer than a parachuter. Done. Thank you people, my name is Silver MC. We are Jaffa Mafia. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you come through if you want to see the big sound system. And more of this music tonight, we're playing at the Castle on Simon Street. So come past you and link with the realness. You see it?
Jaffa Mafia is a sound. I know. He's a killer champion sound.
Okay, one more time.
Last dub plate and some flagrant self-promotion. Edinburgh Castle tonight, people. Come see a real sound system. Big valves at full pressure. And we're running all night long, so thanks a lot for having us.
Mafia Sound from New Zealand. Harlem pull up. You heard? That's my word. Hey, sound idiot over there, sir. Next time you come to this Jaffa Mafia Sound out of New Zealand, you see? Bring a bit of idiot to do it. Now hear this. No, no, no. Can't test Jaffa Mafia and you know now. No, no, no. Can't test Jaffa Mafia sound, you know now. And if you test Captain Midnight, Toby Paradox and Rosehead, you will die and will be buried. And if you test Java Mafia sound with Toby Paradox, Captain Midnight, you will die, you will die, and you'll be buried. Idiot somewhat. Java Mafia sound out of New Zealand. You heard? Auckland to be exact. Java Mafia sound will always be around. No, no. No, 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 no. You don't love me and I know now. No, no. No, 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 no. You don't love me, yes, I know now. No, no. Nobody try test Jaffa Mafia sound with Captain Midnight, Toby, Paradox, and Rosehead. You heard? That's my word.
Oh wow! They started with a Cornell Campbell dub plate. They finished with a Dawn Penn dub plate. Oh my God! Hey, that was awesome. Thank you very much, and best of luck with the new venue, man. Oh no, I can't. Yeah, like that. Fist bump. We've got the final and all-important part of the afternoon about to come. So take your seats. This is the DJ panel. It's the scrum of DJ talk.
That's right.
We'll be back soon.
Russell as well. Russell, do you want to find another red chair?
One on the end.
All ends with beginnings.
See, Russell can sit on the end.
Yeah, but
What
we need
keeps
one
the
more.
planet spinning? What's in the beginning?
All the ladies get together. Yeah, eh? The panel will be commencing very shortly. If you have a question for the panel of DJs, myself and Russell, feel free to place it in the plastic container on the bar there, just on the left. We'd love to hear your questions.
The Dawn Pen's good.
Present has no limit. Your gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with
So let's raise the bar and our goals to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get. 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 We're up all night to get lucky. 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 She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Hello everyone, we're back with the panel. I'll briefly introduce them, and we have our own questions, and we have some quite amusing questions that you guys have submitted. I'll introduce them in the order I've got them. The man who taught me about funky music so many years ago, and still one of the hardest working DJs in town, Murray Cammick. The DJ outside the clubs, the DJ where the bands play, who was described in one interview as being, and I quote, as legendary for her incredible dress sense and her dangerously hot sex appeal, as for her sterling music taste, Tina Turntables.
I didn't like that.
The keeper of the calm before the storm and your man until all hours at Ink Bar for the past 16 years. He's not leaving just yet.
10, actually.
10. Oh, I'm sticking with 16.
16 years.
Yeah, 16. 16 works better for me. And of course, the man with the rhythm selection for the past quarter century, DJ Dubhead. Welcome them all, please. I'll get this one out of the way first because I think it's a frivolous question, but it's a funny one. And Aroha, of course. Aroha.
How?
Sorry. Yeah. You can slap me if you like. This question, I think I know who submitted this. Do you have any shapeshifter? No, we'll move on.
Yes.
Aroha,
actually, if he was really up with the play, he would have requested 660.
Oh. Yeah, you're bringing it down now. Aroha, I'm actually going to start with you because there was one question. I loved that interview, but there was one question I wanted to ask. Your mum had all these records. What were her records? And did they, did they have anything to do with you being a DJ?
A little bit. I mean, I stole quite a few of her records when I left home, but heaps of her records, they got sold by my dad for drugs, which was kind of stink. So she lost a lot of that music, but the stuff that I grew up with was The Clash, Iggy Pop, Nina Hagen, that kind of stuff. Yeah, nice. That's what she was into.
Murray, what was the first time that you actually played out as a DJ? Because I'm not sure whether, when we worked together a long, long time ago, I'm not sure whether you'd ever actually done it.
I'm not too sure, but something like Zanzibar or something, where you used to listen to your records on a phone, but I do recall when I was a bit angry in the office, I'd piss off some of the staff by playing Donna Summer's Bad Girls Hot Stuff repeatedly because I'd hired people who just didn't like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there were some other. This is back at Rip It Up, back in the very old days, and there was someone else who worked in the same building who actually threatened to kill me if I played Shannon's Let the Music Play Again.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, no, that was Hal Chapman, and I played it again. Pat, which is your real name, Dubhead, let's be frank, you were a massive goth.
Indeed.
And so was Stinky Jim. What's the connection there?
Oh, it was really through punk rock. I think bands like The Clash and The Specials and The Ruts and the fact that they were turned on to reggae as it was happening in the UK for them forced us to listen to reggae, and it was just examining that. In fact, I can put it down to one song, which was A Message to You, Rudy, by The Specials, featuring the late Rico Rodriguez on trombone. He does a fantastic trombone solo in there, just recently passed away, but it was hearing that, I think I was about 15, fifth form at high school, and I heard that on the radio, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is it? It sounded like ancient music, and that was from then on, I'm like, right, I need to investigate this. So after that, Toots and the Maytals, Bob Marley, etc.
So there's no actual connection between goth and being a reggae DJ?
Well, there is. I'd say the connection is through punk rock. It's through Clash. It's through the Clash and all those sort of bands. Because, as Jim has said, this is totally true, is in the 1970s in Britain, when punk rock first sprung up, reggae was this parallel rebel music, and these kids were living in the same neighbourhoods, and there was trash all over the streets because there was a major strike, so the rubbish wasn't being collected, and they were talking about the social situation. So the reggae kids, the West Indians, hung out with the punks. There's the connection.
Professor, you came to dance music through quite a different route. You were a hard rock and heavy metal fan. Am. Still. You really couldn't tell by looking at you, to be honest.
I reek tech house.
You've been there on K Road till all hours for a long time.
And I work at Ingvar as well.
Well, what's it like now? Has it changed? Who's your crowd? Are they people who used to go 10 years ago? Are the kids going there?
Funny you mentioned that. The last probably 6 months we're seeing a huge resurgence. A lot of people coming, young, and they're all coming to see, funnily enough, a 51-year-old DJ by the name of Greg Churchill. Yeah. Thank you. I'm not Greg Churchill. And funnily enough, like Dubhead, like Stinky Jim, punk was his beginnings, and you still hear that sort of origin in his music, and ideally you'll hear an electronic form of where someone comes from.
So what makes him special? Because a lot of people pay tribute to him?
He's probably one of the kindest human beings around, up there with Bevan Keys, and he doesn't look like his music. His music is dangerous. He's a sweet soul, and I've got him on to drinking chartreuse as of late. So you know, what more? Yeah.
Tina, how did you start? What was the first time you played out?
I guess I started as what mutual friend Andy Moore said, a glorified stereo Nazi, like parties, that sort of thing. It's funny because I come from punk background as well. Like where I came to soul was through punk. So I guess just through doing parties, and I think the first things, I guess, playing between bands like Dirt Bombs, which led to other things, and then I got a regular spot at Dock Bar, and then that led to other things.
So yeah, you kind of had a background of playing in places where DJs don't usually play.
Yeah, I guess that came from John Baker and DJ Skinny, who I went out with shortly. They, like, for me, whenever I saw DJs, I went, they play electronic music, and I'm not really into electronic music, so there's no place for me, even though I was like a massive geek and had been collecting records since I was 13. It wasn't until I saw those guys playing between bands that I went, this is the sort of shit that I like, you know. And DJ Nettie Page was playing soul and that sort of thing, and there was like crossover. So I saw my place, and then there was like Matthew Cooley had the DJ nights on Wednesdays, and so I saw the kind of alt version of that as well. So yeah, I mean, I select more than I mix. I don't do anything fancy. I just play songs. So yeah, that's probably where I started.
I saw you nodding when Aroha was describing her horror harassment experience. Does that happen in the kind of venues you play as well? Has that happened to you?
That has happened to me. I have quite an amusing story involving Matthew Crawley.
And some lawyers.
Well, there was one at Dock. I don't tend to play whenever I felt unsafe at a certain place. I stopped playing there, basically. And the places that I play, I feel very looked after, and so that's a big factor. But this particular night was Halloween. All hell breaks loose on Halloween, as everyone knows. Matthew Crawley was dressed in a bear suit. He had a fluffy bear hat on, this is important, and a fur cape, I think it was a blanket tied around him, and a guy decided to come over to talk to me, and he grabbed my boob, and I yelled at him. This guy was massive, and Matthew, dressed up in this stupid bear suit, basically proceeded to, he turned ferocious and just yelled and pushed him out of the bar, and the whole dance floor basically turned against this guy and pushed him out of the club. So had a pleasing kind of conclusion.
Obviously, you guys aren't going to have your boobs grabbed, but I wonder whether you've had, what's your crappest DJ experience with bad punters?
Well, my favourite is, not favourite, but my choice is doing a wedding. Now, I don't do a whole lot of weddings or 21sts these days, but back then I had a couple of very good friends who were big fans of the radio show who insisted that I play at their wedding reception, and I said, listen, you know what I'm going to play, right? And they're like, yes, that's what we want. And I'm like, what about your family and friends? They're going to be all good with the Roots reggae wedding, you know? Yes, no problem. Someone threw an artichoke at me. Now, here's the thing, it wasn't an artichoke that was served up on a platter, it was a whole artichoke that was part of the dried flower arrangement. So it's, it's the spiky thing, right? And I'm up there and I just caught this blur in my peripheral vision, right? Just I ducked at just the right moment, and I'm like, oh, yeah, stuff this, I'm not going to do weddings anymore. If they're going to throw artichokes, that's serious shit.
Glenn, the professor, you nodded the moment that Dub said weddings.
Bro, I had the same experience. I get a phone call on my radio show, so I threw this artichoke at Dub. They're like, man, we really want to have you play at our wedding. I'm like, I know you want to, and your wife potentially wants to, but you've got elder family, your younger family, and they're like, no, they're all familiar. And I took hundreds of records. I took as many CDs as I could muster, and it was fucking horrible. Seriously, talk about trying to please everyone at once. So, can you play some rock and roll for the oldies? So put on a bit of Elvis Presley, and then someone comes up, who wants to hear Elvis Presley? Play something for the young ones. So I go chuck on some Black Sabbath. Oh, hang on, they're not young ones, but yeah. So in the end, I pleased myself, and yeah. That's ultimate. That's the only way you're going to guarantee one person in the whole room is going to enjoy the whole night.
Murray, what's your horror story?
I don't think I've had anything too crazy. You know, just when the decks here were on wheels, and I had someone fall on the system, which I sort of thought falling is an accident, so they were not ejected because I wouldn't identify them. But just silly things like that, and rain and wind at Racket Bar. You know, nothing too serious really. I've only ever done one wedding and ended up with an argument with the bridegroom's youngest brother because I wouldn't play "Love Don't Live Here" anymore at a wedding, and
you really?
That was Kerry Brown, and Kerry's wife came over to me and said, "Why are you arguing with my brother?" And I said, "I won't play Love Don't Live Here anymore because Madonna had a hit with it." And she said, "Play it."
You got any other stories for us, Aroha?
I mean, you heard my worst one before, but most of my bad stories involve weddings as well, and I just don't do them anymore unless they're for friends. But there was one wedding I played at where the bride and groom were, very clear on what they wanted. They said, "Look, don't worry about this too much." I said, "Trust me, there's drunkles. There's always going to be a drunkle who wants something." Yeah, that's what I call them in particular. And they're like, "Okay, well, maybe play some of this kind of stuff." And it was all going well. And then as the night turned, it became quite clear to me that everyone was on drugs. And
except you.
Well, the young people at the wedding were on drugs, and they started coming and going, "Can you play some drum and bass?" And I was like, "Sure, I just don't know if your mum would really be into that." They started jumping in the pool, and the water from the pool was like splashing all over my gear, and I was like, "I've got to get out of here." Noise control came, and they were like, "Fuck, noise control," and they just wanted me to keep playing. I was like, I am leaving. Yeah, it wasn't that awful, but weddings are bad.
Murray, there's a question I want to ask you, because we were talking, when I talked with AJ, we talked about formats becoming more open because of digital music and because you've got the whole world's music on your laptop. I'm impressed with the fact that you actually play quite a number of different types of set and you own all the vinyl. Is that hard work doing that? How do you do that?
I just have sort of different interests, because I like soul and funk, but then a lot of reggae is funky too, and I like, Las Vegas, Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and stuff like that. So I do that occasionally. So, and it's good. I also like that. I think when you have a DJ, it'd be nice to think that someone's thinking, what the fuck's he going to play next, and to actually have a variety, So I do like playing new tracks, and I believe white people can be funky too. So I'm prepared, I like playing sort of either retro or modern versions of Brit bands like Charlatans or whatever, who have a real groove to them.
How many records do you have?
I have no idea, but I've lost weight moving them in the last few weeks.
You've moved. I remember Simon Grigg actually emailed me and said, "Murray's just told me he has to move house." And it was like the most traumatic thing that could possibly happen.
Yeah, today's the final day, but I've got sort of an extension, but I managed to get 10 minutes of cleaning in before the landlord arrived from Queensland, and 10 minutes was not enough.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us. Esther, let's go to some questions from the audience.
Let's go to some, listener questions, watcher questions. This is for the whole panel. How do you deal with fake, in quote marks, DJs, in brackets, knob twiddlers? Should they be called out? Also, do technologies today promote this inauthenticity?
Start with you.
They can potentially promote this inauthenticity. Is that a word? Fantastic. It's been a bit of a bone of contention in my head, like pressing a sync button that's not mixing, but ultimately what really matters is the dance floor, and whether you transition from one track to another by pressing a button or by carefully manipulating the turntables or what have you, none of that matters. It's all about selection, and if you're playing the right tunes, ultimately technology has got nothing to do with it.
Murray, thoughts?
Murray?
What are we thinking about?
No more weddings.
Inauthentic DJs.
I'll speak to this. I think it's a bit like the Emperor's New Clothes in that, you know, it's down to the crowd, and a so-called fake DJ won't be able to consistently rock a crowd, and the people will see. They'll know. It's down to the tunes that you're playing, and no amount of sort of gadgets or trickery are going to cover the fact that the songs you're playing are crap.
What if you're playing to a fake crowd?
Virtual crowd. But I do. I think, you know, real DJ skills come playing every weekend to crowds and rocking them. If you're not a DJ that has that skill, it's apparent in your selection. It's apparent in the songs that you're playing, and it doesn't matter how you put them together or mix them or whatever. It's the material that you're showcasing, and people can see that. Crowds, you know, they're not dumb. They're like, oh, he's playing that bloody Michael Jackson again.
I'm going to be a little bit more generous and say that everyone starts somewhere. You know, like I know that I got judged hard for using iTunes when I first started. I use vinyl and my laptop. I use both, but I don't know who's fake and who's real. I mean, okay, if you're not doing it consistently, and I agree with what Dub just said, and I just think sometimes you need to start somewhere, and sometimes the technology that you're using is a bit shit, but you grow if you do it consistently, and if you can read a crowd, if you have empathy and you know music and you have all that stuff.
It's kind of like musicians as well, isn't it? Like sometimes, like I've only done a few shows out of BFM, and it's hard. You know, being a DJ it's difficult. Like you have to read the crowd, you have to pick the music according to their mood and what's going to sound good together, and you've got infinite choices. But you could say the same thing for musicians who are just starting out and being not so great. So, shall we go to another one? Yeah. This is if there was any DJ you would like to see live tonight, who would it be and why? Just quick fire.
It's easy for me, Manuel Bundy, number one. And it's all about selection. It's like, seriously, for that guy, apart from the fact that he mixes incredibly well, it's his tunes. It's his broad-ranging tunes. This guy can play house, drum and bass, hip-hop, funk, jazz, soul, reggae, any style, but he will play the best tunes of those styles.
I'm going to answer this one too. John Morales, because I love disco, and a guy called Left Side Wobble, who is my age and just seems to like all the music I do. And yeah, I like him.
I'm going to say DJ Harvey. I saw him play once in Detroit, and he is just a very eclectic style of DJ. Plays a lot of techno, a lot of house, Balearic kind of stuff, and is always surprising. And I don't know if he's ever actually played here. Yeah.
You're pointing to me. I'm going to say Paul Weller. He has the most amazing collection of soul, and he's introduced me to so much music that I'm incredibly grateful for. He introduced me to D'Angelo. I would never have considered that guy based on their abs, and it's all distracting. But when I heard him on a compilation album that he put together, I just went, oh, fuck, this song is amazing. So, yeah, he would be the person I would.
Probably one of the British Northern Soul DJs. I think, is it Richard Serling or one of those? Or might have the name wrong.
I really don't know. Probably the Professor. Because he plays what I really enjoy. Yeah.
Good answer.
It's the truth.
And what equipment would you recommend for someone just starting out? Are CDJs still relevant? Aroha, do you use CDJs?
I use CDJs when I'm working in a club, and at home I have a Serato controller, which I have just because it's fun and it's got cool buttons and stuff I can play around with and just sort of noodle out. I think when you're starting out, it really depends on what you've got. Like, if your mum has a whole record collection, use it.
Yeah.
You know? Get a shitty mixer and just muck around. If you want something that's entry level, go with software because you've got an iTunes library, and get a cool little controller. Yeah.
Just a basic mixer?
Yeah. Or just like an all-in-one controller with the two little decks and your controls.
So you think it is actually important to have that gear at home?
Yes and no. I mean, I've got lots of friends who they don't have any equipment, and their practice is the gigs that they do.
Cause, the reason I ask is that with modern CDJs, you can literally turn up with a flash drive in your pocket or on your keyring, and you've got 2,000 songs on it, and you put it in the CDJ, and that's it, you're DJing. Is that a good or a bad thing?
I mean, it makes for no luggage. I mean, because we went from, having bags and bags of records and, you needing to have a work visa and to slip past, customs because you've got all these records, and they're like, well, why are you bringing all these records somewhere? Whereas now, you've got things like Serato, and that makes life a lot easier. You've got a laptop, but even, if you've just got two USBs, that simplifies things for a lot of people. Just two little things, plug them in, headphones, easy.
Not if you lose your keys.
Oh, one more crowd one for the moment? Oh, did you have an answer?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about format because it seems to be a pretty big thing, and people do sort of get hung up on format, just like they get hung up on mixing technique and things. It's really all down to the music. I mean, I'm a record guy, and I've always been a record guy. And it doesn't mean I won't ever change. Like when CDs came along, I started playing CDs on the radio. I don't play CDs live, but I'm still a record guy, and I'm not against digital technology or MP3s. And nearly all the DJs who are my friends in Auckland and the guys that I respect and admire, they're all on Serato, and it hasn't changed anything for them. I was talking to P Money before, and it's like, sure, there'll be a little transition period while they're getting used to the new digital format, but they're still playing great music, and really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's a record or a CD or a WAV file. If you're playing great music and you're putting it together in a really good way, that's it at the end of the day.
One more from the floor.
I think we've pretty much covered all of them. There's a few questions about what's more important, skill or style, and I think we've covered that. There's one in here about cassettes. Do you still bump cassettes? What is that even? I think I'm too young to know what that means. Is that dubbing? And do you still collect cassettes?
Well, you see, that's a format question again, and it's like the mini disc or the DAT tape. People have even forgotten those things. But actually, one of the best DJs I've seen in the last couple of years played here at Concord Dawn, and his name is Amazing Tapes from Africa. Right. And the reason being is that the period of African music that he really likes, the format was strictly cassette. They didn't have records, they didn't have CDs, it was all on cassette. And he DJs from 2 cassette decks. And it doesn't matter because it's really exciting music. And that's the format. That's the only format he can get that music in. So again, it doesn't matter. That's his format. Although I don't know many people who do play cassettes at gigs, that said.
Can I just add to what you were saying about format? I do think if you are using digital files, it's important to use a certain quality of digital file. Because it sounds really bad if you're playing a 160 kbps. Like, God, it just sounds bad. I mean, you might have a shitty sound system and it's not going to show that up, but so many people are coming up to me and going, you can get it on YouTube.
No self-respecting DJ would play off YouTube.
But the average consumer doesn't know the difference. But if you're a DJ, you should play high-quality audio files.
What, so ideally WAV files, FLAC files?
Ideally WAV files, AF, yeah.
I'm going to ask a philosophical question that might actually fall flat, but I'm interested in the idea. Everyone has talked about how the key thing for a DJ is to read a room. And implicit in that is a degree of empathy. Mm-hmm. To actually, you've actually got to be aware of how people are feeling and be able to respond to it. I wonder how any of you feel about it. Do you agree with that? And also, does that kind of empathy actually serve you in other walks of life?
Yes. One thing I find with a lot of the new DJs, which is maybe why people like Greg Churchill do get such a huge following, is they don't so much read a room as step up there and play what they consider to be the best track. So there's no warm-up style. There's no appreciation for the fact that you've just walked into a club and I want to be taken on a journey. But it is a real thing, man. You know, like you need to be warmed up to the point where you'll accept some music. And for me, prime example of that is actually playing here with the Devil's Jukebox and my good friend Selector Sam. Beginning of the night, we'd play funk and soul and blues, and gradually we lift the tempo. And on one night, we were looking at each other, man, we'd done the devil's fucking work. We had ladies on the tables screaming their fucking heads off to Slayer, right, South of Heaven. And the reality is there's no way in the world they would have done that at 8 o'clock in the evening. But we took them there. Yeah.
So it's not just reading the crowd, it's taking the crowd with you.
It's taking the crowd with you, but understanding what it's like to be just listening to what you're doing, yeah.
And one of the things I think people forget is, first and foremost, DJs are music fans. They're punters. And we all go and watch other DJs play. We all go to gigs and we all have our favourite DJs, or we just go to support our friends who are DJs. So you're in the crowd and you're seeing what's happening with the room. We wouldn't dream of going up to the DJ and asking them to play a particular song. We'll go up to the DJ and say hi, you know, so they know we're here. But we're music fans, so it's very easy when you are a DJ and you're looking out at the room to feel that empathy, to go, I am that guy down the back of the bar sitting on my Heineken waiting to be moved. Because we all are. We all are that guy. So when you're sort of... Or girl. When you're up in front and you're in charge, you're actually thinking of that guy down the back of the room.
So literally, who is, and maybe you can all answer, who is the audience for what you do in Auckland at the moment? Are they old? Are they young? Are they engaged? Are they music fans even?
I work at, bars, restaurants where it's largely background music, so I'm not really dealing with a dance floor, even though I do like dance music. So it is bizarre, but Oogie Woogie Boogie is a good restaurant song, or whatever it is. But you do have... there is that empathy thing, for sure, because after the Bledisloe Cup, I do Monday nights at Britomart Country Club, and all the men had spent their money, and the crowd's like 100% women, so I am thinking, what will these women like? Or, I'm not one of these DJs who wants to be 100% rare groove and play things you've never heard. So I'm standing there thinking, do women like No Woman, No Cry, by Bob Marley? They do, apparently.
Who doesn't like that song?
Dominant verse or chorus.
I mean, I'm not a particularly experienced DJ, but I have always found playing what the women like is actually, if in doubt, play what the ladies like.
The reality is you get the woman on the dance floor, you got the man on the dance floor.
I totally agree. I remember when I was sort of in the middle of the drum and bass scene in Wellington when I was younger, and when that whole Brazilian kind of happy, sort of fruity sort of drum and bass came through, and all the girls started going on the dance floor, and then all the boys were like, yeah, cool, sweet, let's go out and dance with them.
So do women still run the dance floor, you think?
Totally.
Yeah. I'm going to have to counter this.
Oh, okay.
As is my want. I find as a female DJ, I have to flop my dick out occasionally and prove myself to just get some respect, because otherwise...
Did not see that coming.
Well, otherwise, if I'm playing nothing but Pat Benatar and like shit that's gonna like get like women dancing, then I'm not gonna get any fucking respect. So I find, as someone that suffers from anxiety, and I think that helps with DJing because you actually care what people like want. But I just find that you've got to balance those two things, like anxiety, arrogance, like I know what's going to work right now, and empathy. I think it's a combination of all of those things.
Anything to add, Pat?
Yeah, actually, I've got a joke.
Okay.
I saw this. I saw this.
I'm all ears.
I saw this on the internet, and I don't want to be genreist or diss someone's favourite style, but it did make me chuckle. It said, "Opinions are like dubstep demos. I don't want to hear yours."
We better wrap up soon, but I wonder whether each of you could give us an example of a go-to record that you play often and is just never fails, the one you like.
Spotty Yoddy Dopalicious by Outkast.
Yes.
My favourite song of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the records I play when I don't know what the fuck's going on, and and by the time
In your life or in the gig, Murray?
No, the gig, and so anything from that Visioneers album, whatever it was called, Hip Hop, what was it called? I don't know. From a couple of years back, they've got a whole lot of tracks that you could come out of one mood and into another. But my favourite one of the last year, also for when you're lost, is George Soul's "Get Involved."
I haven't thought of one yet.
I've got a follow-up actually to Visioneers. I've been relying heavily on Odyssey. He's got an instrumental album at the moment which sits perfectly for me because I like going from R&B, like early R&B, through hip-hop and punk, and it kind of sits in this beautiful kind of middle space where I go, oh shit, I don't know what to do right now. I could go either way. And yeah, so similar to the Visioneers.
For me, I'm not a DJ who plays Prince or Michael Jackson, and there's nothing against Prince or Michael Jackson, they're awesome musicians, but if I sort of look around and it's not happening, for me it's James Brown. You play James Brown, there is no one alive who cannot get down to James Brown.
Okay, so I've just thought of mine.
Yep.
My go-to track, if the crowd isn't working, Downtown Brown, the New York moving, which samples Michael Jackson, with the beat it,
Mine is Felix the House Cat, Devon Dazzle, and the Neon Fever. Every track is awesome. You should all go home and listen to it. What's yours, Russell?
Mine, oddly enough, is the one I almost always play, because I don't really play club sets because I can't do it. But I play parties, and actually a really great song to start the set with is Cockney Rebels Make Me Smile, which is a really brilliant 1970s classic pop song from a group that didn't make that many pop songs, and it just, people don't know what it is and they recognise it and everyone literally starts to smile. It's a really nice song to start things with. I think we may have come to a natural conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a really fun day. Thank you very much. The weather was a worry, but the weather came through. Thank you, Niwa. Fuck you, Met Service. Honestly, I got up this morning and it was raining and I looked at the Met Service website and it said showers all afternoon. I thought, fuck you. But it didn't happen, and you've been really great. Thank you. It's been really fun. Please thank our panellists. Cheers.
Big thanks to Orcon for sponsoring.
I was about to get to that. Thank you, Orcon, and in particular Quentin Bright down here, who is just the most lovely man to work with. He really is.
Thanks, Quentin.
I suggest things and he goes, okay. I'll juggle the numbers. That's his favourite phrase. So thanks very much, and thank you to Orcon, and thank you to Matthew Crawley. Cheers.
You're quite a lady, ain't you, baby?